Just edit it out and post.
Here you go.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we're live, Eric. So I'm going to bring us, share this on the page. We're talking about how bottle openers are saving lives. Hey guys, I got Eric here from Bullets to Badges, and he's going to share with us a story behind Bullets to Badges, how you guys got started, and how you guys are donating and help a lot of veterans groups that are out there. Share with us a story behind Bullets to Badges. Who's that guy talking in the background? Still got to figure this whole thing out.
Yeah, get a little feedback from your first.
Yeah, but it's on there now. So Eric, take it away, man. Tell me where you guys located. What's Bullets to Badges all about? Kind of what's the story behind it?
We're located in San Diego, based on, I think, just the fact that our two founders both got out of the Navy here in 2011, and they liked San Diego and they wanted to stay here. Didn't want to leave the land of good weather and carne asada and good beer. So company kind of grew from that. So like I said, company started in 2011. It was two Naval Academy classmates of mine, Cole Evans and Erik Rivera, were both, I think when they started the company, they were in the process of separating off of active duty as EOD officers in the Navy, doing explosive ordnance, bomb tech, diving, salvage type ops, both of them in various spots around the world, and then got out from in San Diego. And they started.
These are all like really safe jobs to be doing, right? I mean, it's really.
Yeah, real long life expectancy doing that sort of thing.
So with that ado, where's your favorite place to get carne asada burritos in San Diego then?
And any of the Bertos, Albertos, Robertos, Rigobertos. I mean, Santana's is always a good spot. It's basically whatever one is close to me when I need a burrito or when I need carne asada fries.
So we got.
Yeah. Anyway, so like I was saying, in 2011.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, so I was going to say, so back in 2011, Erik and Cole were trying to figure out kind of what they wanted to do with the once they got out of the Navy, and they kind of by accident just started making necklaces out of spent ammunition or upcycled ammunition, like 9mm, 5.56, 7.62 necklaces, and selling them. I don't even think they had a website at that time. They were running it off of. I'm not sure how they got started. Or maybe it was a very, very rudimentary website back in 2011. After they'd done what they thought was just going to be sort of a one-off fundraiser for the Travis Manion Foundation, and then they realized after that fundraiser went off and that there was some interest in the products and everything like that, they okay, well maybe we can turn this into a viable business. And so from then they just started kind of continuing to grow from there with selling more products. At that time, they were mostly selling jewelry and accessories, so necklaces, bracelets, things like that. So kind of a limited audience, or a smaller segment of the population we soon realized was going to be interested in those types of products, and that's more subject to fashion trends and things like that. So then Erik realized that, oh wait, when I was in the Philippines doing some joint ops with Filipino EOD guys, this guy gave me a 50 cal round that he'd basically taken a hacksaw and turned into a bottle opener. We should start making and selling these. So they thought, okay, that sounds like a good plan. And went through all the steps of sourcing the parts to manufacturing them locally here in San Diego to marketing and selling them starting in like late 2011, early 2012. And getting wholesale accounts, working on the web presence, the search engine optimization, the building the social audience, and all that sort of stuff, and then just kind of continue to grow from there. And then I left active duty in the Marine Corps in 2011, and at that time I was thinking I wanted to go do the Fortune 500 type thing. So I got out of the Marine Corps, went to business school, and then realized for a variety of reasons that wasn't what I wanted to do career-wise. So I came back the summer of 2012. I came back and sort of interned with them to help Erik and Cole grow the business, and went back and finished my second year of business school. And in 2013, I joined them full-time and took on more of a day-to-day role with production, operations, partnerships, all that sort of stuff. And then I've kind of been doing that since 2013. And at this point, I'm actually Erik and Cole have both moved on to other day jobs, even though they're still majority owners. So I'm kind of
show us exactly what the round is, because I think some people might not even know what a round is. Obviously, there are especially civilians that are listening to this. Can you hold up like the round and there you go.
Yeah, so this is a 50 cal round. You see it's about the diameter of my thumb and about 5.5 inches long. So this is the brass is it's legit once fired 50 caliber casing. So we buy them from government liquidation auctions. So when 29 Palms or Camp Lejeune or any of the Army bases or whatever have machine gun shoots, they collect up the brass afterwards and they auction it off and by the tons. That's where we buy our brass casings from. We buy the projectiles. They typically get yanked out of expired ammunition or demilitarized ammunition. And then we get them by both of those components by the tons and reload them here, get them cut, get the notch cut in by a machine shop that's just up the road from us, reload them, run them through tumblers, get them all shined up. In some cases, like we get them powder coated. So like this Navy one or this.
Yeah, go Navy. So what year are you from the academy again?
I was 2004 out of the academy, and same as Erik and Cole. We're both the same class. So we get them powder coated in some cases at a local shop here in San Diego, or nickel plated, chrome plating, and then in the case of most of our orders, they're getting personalized either with or engraved or personalized in one way or another. So whether it's putting the N-Star logo on or putting the VMI logo on or Marine Corps emblem or something like that.
Let's do the Marine Corps one. Let's get rid of the other crap. We want to get the real stuff out.
So I got this one that we did for
now we're talking the balls of Marine Corps. 3-1, baby.
So we do have a few others. I don't have one in front of me at the moment that just have the Eagle of an Anchor and Marines.
We just want to see the balls of the Marine Corps. That's all that matters.
Or the
coolest saying by a Marine infantry battalion out there: the balls of the Marine Corps. Nobody beats us. We're number one. You know that, right? That's very prideful with us.
So we do the engraving and the personalization right over here to about 5 feet to my right. We've got 2 different lasers that we have running pretty much all day, every day, doing our engraving. Whether it's kind of one of our standard logos like this, or whether it's somebody who wants to buy groomsmen gifts and wants a set of 10 bottle openers that say Mike Groomsman, June 5th, 2017, Daryl Best Man, 2017.
That's really
all that kind of stuff. That's really been the biggest part of our business lately. So we started off kind of jumping all over the place chronologically, but so we started off really focusing on the military and the veterans markets and the veteran charity market. And we still do that. We haven't stopped doing those things to any extent. They've just been kind of overtaken or superseded by the broadly the personalized gift market, and more specifically groomsmen gift markets. What we found is that's not a seasonal type thing like Christmas gifts or whatever. Seems like people are always getting married, and they're always you might think weddings a spring and summer type thing, but people are buying wedding gifts all year round, and what it's so that for us it's just a numbers game of pitching, doing a good job on search engine optimization and the Facebook ads and email marketing to where we're getting our products in front of the right people at the right times.
What's your true passion behind this whole deal, Erik?
Well, I initially got into the company. Started out, like I said, as an interning with him in 2012, sort of as a realizing that I didn't really want to go work for McKinsey or Goldman Sachs or whatever. And two, honestly, I probably wasn't smart enough to go do any of those things. The people I was at business school with who ended up in those types of jobs are far, far smarter than me. Persistence only takes me so far when it comes to competing against people who are significantly more intelligent than I am. So I looked at what Erik and Cole were doing, what they've been doing for the first year.
Here you are, you're a Naval Academy graduate, where you're a pretty smart guy, obviously, to go to the Naval Academy in the first place. And then you're running a business now. But like, what's that true passion where every day is like most entrepreneurs are out there, they get stuck in like the grind and they're just like, man, why am I even doing this anymore? What gets you up in the morning to do this every day?
Well, I I think like I was getting at a minute ago. Initially, I got into it because I really liked the mission of the company in terms of the working with veteran charities and supporting groups like the Travis Manion Foundation, that's a personal interest of ours because Travis is one of our classmates.
100%.
I went to the basic school with Travis. We weren't real tight friends or anything like that, but
I was actually good friends with Travis.
Yeah, so being able to work with groups like the Travis Manion Foundation and the Marsoc Foundation, who's done stuff to help guys who I know very, very closely, the kind of support that those smaller charities that a lot of people may not have heard of they're doing very impactful work, whether it's supporting families of the fallen, to helping veterans with transition, to character building programs with high school kids like the Travis Manion Foundation does. Realize that I wanted to be in a job where I didn't have 7 bosses. There wasn't.
I've seen that movie. What's it called?
Yeah. That was a motivating factor for me.
You don't want 5 Bobs as your boss.
Not having 7 bosses.
You don't have a red stapler on your desk?
I probably do somewhere. If not, I can find one. I can wear a T-shirt and shorts to work every day.
Show us the T-shirt. Show us the T-shirt, because I know you guys got cool T-shirts.
That's one of our old branded shirts. I don't think we actually sell these anymore.
It's a limited edition. You can't even get it anymore.
Yeah, only one. So yeah, I realized that I not working in a large company appealed to me. Being able to work with the veteran charities and being able to stay sort of peripherally involved with working with military groups. So whether it's we're selling to active duty units or we're helping them with raising money for their birthday ball funds and things like that, I enjoy that sort of thing. And I think the thing that keeps me interested in coming back to this job every day and excited to work is that I don't get bored. We're a small enough company still. We have 6 full-time employees and a couple contract 1099s who come in based on seasonality. With only 6 employees, I end up having to do a lot of different things. I don't get bored. So I'm able to on any given day, I'm doing some. I might
40-hour work week. That was that first part-time job you had, right? When you laugh about that now, right?
Slightly more than 40 hours. It's
who knows what that is, right? Because when you're passionate about what you're doing, it doesn't matter what clock it is or what time of the day it is. How do you if you went back and kind of looked at some of the lessons that you took away from the Marine Corps and how you're applying them in the business, what are some of those lessons you've learned?
I think the biggest is just the persistence. And like I said, I realized at business school, I'm not going to be the smartest guy in the room, but if something needs to be done and I have to, if it takes me a 16 or 18 hour day to get it done, if I've committed to having something finished by a certain time or a job to a customer by a certain time, then I'm going to be the one that puts myself out, and like I'll send the rest of our employees home, and I'll be the one that if somebody has to stay late to do it, it's going to be me, because I was the one who made that commitment. I'm the one who, as the one running the company or as an owner, I'm ultimately responsible for anything that comes out of this office with our company's name on it. I definitely take ownership in it, and I'm not going to allow anything kind of subpar work to go out of here. So yeah, I think just the persistence thing. And
what did you learn in the Marine Corps that made you persistent?
Learn that going back, what MCDP1 and Clausewitz and friction and fog.
You got to remember, these people they don't know what MCDP1 is. That's like our Bible in the Marine Corps. Yeah. That is the Marine Corps Bible, by the way.
Just the whole idea that that things will never go smoothly. Things will no plan survives first contact with the enemy. All that kind of stuff. That you can have this great plan.
No plan survives first contact, right? So that means, guys, as you're an entrepreneur and things are flying at you. Right? That's what we're talking about here. And the Marine Corps, it's the same way. When people start shooting at you, the plan kind of goes out the door. Everybody remembers what they're supposed to be doing, but you have to adapt and overcome whatever it is. And that's exactly what you're talking about right here. What are some of the things you've had to adapt and overcome in the business world?
Oh, it could be, obstacles that we run into, everything from unexpected $40,000 legal bills for trademark or trade dress related stuff to where or products being
tell us about that. That would be a nice lesson to learn about how to avoid a $40,000 legal bill.
It wasn't fortunately in our case we didn't end up getting sued or anything, but it was just a matter of to make sure that our intellectual property and our trademarks and trade dress were protected. We had to pay some pretty good lawyers a lot of money to make sure that to make sure that our bases were covered and that we were able to go on and keep doing what we were doing as a business.
And why did you do that?
Why did we do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, to make sure that we were able to keep selling our 50 caliber bottle openers mainly, because we realized if we didn't take those steps to make sure we're legally covered, then we could have potentially been shut down. And if we're not able to sell these, then we really don't have a business.
Excellent. Right. So you did that. You invested into it to protect yourself to be able to continue to stay in business. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. They think they can go to LegalZoom.com and print out some document. And it's going to cover all their bases. So just, guys, get a professional lawyer, get a professional person that you know in your network. How did you guys come around finding the people that you started working with?
For the lawyers, since you just mentioned build your network, that was we kind of lucked into some lawyers who are far better than we should have been able to afford based on just a network type thing. So it was a guy, Justin Nahama. He was a Marine, an SJA, big JAG in civilian terms.
He's a lawyer. He's a Marine lawyer.
Marine lawyer. So he went to law school. Went to law school before he joined the Marine Corps. Got commissioned as a lawyer, and during my final 3 years at MCRD, the Recruit Depot boot camp here in San Diego, he was a trial lawyer, mostly doing prosecution type work there at MCRD. I got to know him through working, actually sat on a court martial where he was the prosecution for a Marine who was accused of drug use or something like that. And I was a member. I was sitting in the jury basically on that court martial. And I also knew him through a few other things here in the San Diego. Like he and I were both active in like the CrossFit community in San Diego. So I'd bump into him at events and things like that. And then, so after I got out of the Marine Corps, went to business school, joined the company, and then moved back here to San Diego in 2013 full time. And he had, I guess, finished up his obligated time in the Marine Corps and took a job at a fairly well-known, high-powered law firm that has an office here in San Diego. And just when I happened to be coming back into town in, I guess, June or July of 2013, and he sent me a message and said, "Hey, I'm now working at this firm, so-and-so. I convinced one of the partners that we should look to take on some clients who are either veteran-owned businesses or veteran charities or something like that who are looking for some legal assistance. Do you know anybody who fits that mold?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're actually in the process of potentially dealing with some pretty in detail and potentially expensive trademark-related stuff. Do you have anybody who can advise us on intellectual property stuff?" And so went down and met up with him and talked things over and got hooked up with their legal team at this law firm who, like I said, they are far better lawyers than we should have been able to afford it. And we got some very good service at sort of a veteran discount because they were looking to take on and assist some veteran-owned small businesses.
Yeah. So goal number 2 here is to tap into your network and to build that network when you don't need a network. I was talking with another Marine actually this morning. It was along the lines of building those relationships before you need them. A lot of people will always try to, I've seen this in business a lot of time. I can smell it a mile away. Is people reach out to me. It's like they want something, but I haven't heard from this person. I don't even know what's going on. And they just reach out to me, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, join my business or join my opportunity." And I'm just kind of like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, I just laugh at that point. I feel sorry for them for doing stuff like that. So
there's definitely a right way and a wrong way to do it. And if you're, if it's just reaching out to somebody in a salesy manner or not, or just asking for something, then you're gonna end up alienating more people than or you'll alienate more people than you have who end up wanting to work with you.
Mm-hmm. So what's one of the biggest, again, there's no failure in life. There's only feedback with doing stuff. I mean, you talk to Thomas Edison, he'll tell you that. And if you looked at it, what's some of the biggest things that are possibly a setback in business or something along the lines where it didn't go as planned, maybe cost you guys a bunch of money or heartache or just cause problems for you guys? Something that somebody could take away and learn something.
I'm trying to think of a specific example. I mean, there were times where just for like a confluence of bad things happened at the same time, as in like legal bills were due, our rent goes up, our office air conditioning goes out at the same time, and And at the same time, our website sales and our wholesale is just starting to slump a little bit. And then suddenly we realize we get to the end of the week and we get ready to write a paycheck for one of our employees, and we have to tell them, hey, don't cash this till Monday, please. Like that was a pretty low point for me to think like, man, how are we in a position where this guy's been working hard for us and doing exactly what we asked for him, and we have to ask him to wait a few days to cash his paycheck. And I think that just came, that goes back to the persistence thing, to realize that, okay, well, I don't want to shutter this business and go find something else to do. So it's put our head down and figure out, okay, what do we need to do to start making more money on the wholesale? Do I need to make more phone calls? How do we get our stuff out in front of people who are potential wholesale customers? How do we drive more traffic to our website, and how do we convert that traffic into sales? How do we remarket more effectively to our existing customers and all that kind of stuff? And it's kind of a multi-tiered approach at addressing that problem, figuring out, how are we going to address things so that we have enough money in the bank to pay everybody and to pay ourselves on a weekly basis. Yeah,
because in business, guys, entrepreneur, you get paid last. I mean, everybody thinks, oh, it's some glorious thing. Like no, I mean, you're unemployed every day. It's like you're the guy that's cutting the check, but at the same time, you got to make sure there's enough cash left to, run the business as well. I mean, that's the hard facts behind it, because you got people that depend on you, just like in the military. People are dependent on you here. It's their livelihood, not dependent on their, necessarily their life per se.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It's not we're not doing any life or death stuff here, obviously, but if we've committed to paying people a paycheck on the 1st and 15th of every month, then it's on me to make sure the money is in the account to pay them, and the money is in the account if we're doing everything everything correctly in terms of generating enough sales and enough revenue to keep paying people and to hopefully keep growing and hiring more people.
Mm-hmm. Erik, is there any books you'd recommend, or a book that stands out to you that you read and you're like, man, I really took a huge amount of value away, I'd love to share with people?
Reading books is something I need to do more of. I do a lot more reading of business-related blogs, so stuff like Neil Patel. Read a lot of his stuff. I read stuff that Brian Dean puts out. We've been working for the last 2 or 2.5 years, working with HubSpot for the whole, inbound marketing and that whole concept of generating traffic and leads and sales in that way. So they put out pretty regular good content on how to do everything from how to do anything related to bringing people to your webpage and converting them into leads and into customers, and how to sort of nurture the customer relationships and keep them on as customers or as repeat customers and things like that. So right off the top of my head, I can't think of. Well, actually, I'll think one book that stuck with me. I can't remember at the moment who wrote it, but it was all about the 80-20 rule. And we can put it in the show notes or whatever afterwards. But
Perry Marshall.
Might have been him. Yeah, that sounds right. But the whole idea is that, and I guess my takeaway there was that, everybody's heard of the 80-20 rule, but what you need to keep in mind is that once you get down within that 20, there's an 80-20 within that 20, and there's an 80-20 within that 20, and so on. And so basically what you need to do, and this is what I'm not very good at as a manager and business owner, is figuring out what's the 20% of the 20% of the 20% where I really need, where is really going to pay off. What's the 1% of things we do that result in 60% of our revenue or 60% of our output, and really focus on doing those things, and the things that don't fall into that 1%, find cheaper labor to do that, or outsource them somewhere or another. Basically free myself up from doing the sort of the mundane tasks that with my bad prioritization that I get bogged down with on a daily basis, so I can really focus on the things that are going to have the huge return on my invested time. Okay.
Yeah, it's 80-20 rule, written by Perry Marshall. It's a definitive guide to working less and making more. So it's a great book. So if there was, if you're going to write a letter to your younger self, you're starting out as an entrepreneur in your career. Is this your first venture into entrepreneurism? What's the first memory that you actually even remember around money to begin with?
The the first venture, like you talking about back to childhood type
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. It's the first thing you did.
Like saving up money I'm trying to think, saving up allowance money for lawn mowing money to buy a bike probably. When I was, I don't know, 9 or 10 years old, I wanted a BMX bike that I could go around and do dirt jumping with my friends, and had to save my allowance from doing household chores and go mow neighbors' lawns for $8 a piece, and finally save it up to where I could go buy my bike and ride with my friends when I was 12, 13 years old, or however old I was at the time. So nothing real high level in terms of entrepreneurship. I think
you had to learn how to be persistent then, right?
Yeah.
Is that the same persistency you got today?
Different scale, but yeah, I would say so.
You're probably more persistent now.
Yeah. Well, because now I have to pay for my own food, and I have to pay rent. Whereas back then, if I didn't get the bike, like, okay, well, I didn't get the bike. But now it's like, okay, well, if the business doesn't do well, then my landlord might not be as understanding as my parents were back when I was 12.
Different landlord, I take it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to write a letter to like your younger self, talk about where you're at today and some of the biggest lesson you've actually learned along the way, what would it be?
I think I would have. So going through high school, like middle school and high school, all I wanted to do was go to the Naval Academy and be a Marine. I thought I was going to graduate from the Naval Academy and be a Marine for 30 years or stay until they kicked me out, basically, and then retire and not have to work again beyond that. So I wasn't really. I think there, in terms of. Even it was something in terms as simple as like what I majored in at the Naval Academy. The Naval Academy, I majored in history, which was because I enjoyed reading and writing, and I could do that stuff pretty well. And I thought that was the most applicable, something along the lines of history or poli-sci, which I took a handful of electives as well. I thought those would be the things that would be most applicable to being a Marine infantry officer. I wasn't going to go be a pilot and needed a major in aerospace engineering or anything like that. So I just thought, okay, I'm going to major in history because that's what I enjoy doing, and that'll translate to what I'm doing in the Marine Corps. And then it turns out, okay, well, Marine Corps was just a short 7-year period of my life. What's next? So I think if I had it to do over again, I would have gone and probably majored in econ or quantitative economics so that I could so that I think these things would have helped me quite a bit, both at business school and keeping pace with the people who were coming from finance majors or working at Goldman Sachs or working at McKinsey, and just kind of being able to speak their language a little bit better and have the general knowledge of macro and microeconomics and how to do financial models and things like that, which I'm still not good at. So that's stuff that would help me both at business school and help me with running this company, and having a stronger idea of how to analyze our financial statements and how to look at all the different factors there that play into how much how profitable we are as a company as opposed to just how much stuff we sell. So I think I think realizing that the Marine Corps wasn't going to be the next 30 years of my life, or realizing there's a potential that the Marine Corps wouldn't be the next 30 years of my life, and thinking about, okay, how do I want to make sure I'm in a position to do something afterwards.
Okay. So if you're going to summarize that in one sentence, what would it be?
Have to my 18-year-old self, have a 10-year plan that's independent of the Marine Corps in case the Marine Corps isn't what I end up wanting to do long term.
Plan B.
Yep.
Simple as that, right? Guys, have a plan B in business because, again, the plan goes out the window and the first round goes down range, as you know from the business you're actually doing. Now, Erik, I understand you guys help out a lot of charities. You guys do a lot of giving back. What's the best way we could support you, learn more about your business, learn about what you're doing, support you and your endeavors and how you're going out and helping veterans?
I'm sorry, the sound was breaking up there. Can you say that again?
I just said some awesome stuff. That's all. What's the best way? I know you help a lot of charities, give back to a lot of charities and stuff, and I'd love to support you with that here. And what's the best way for people to get in touch with you or to get in touch with your business or, to hire you to do cool stuff and make cool stuff for them?
If you go to our website, bullets2bandages.org, or just search Bullets to Bandages, will be what comes up. There's contact us tab on there. There's a phone number listed at the top. If you call that number, I will probably be the one answering the phone. Like I said, we're a small company. I don't have a receptionist or a secretary to answer the phone for me. So you can check out our website, all of our product listings. You can check out a listing of all the charities that we work with and see, like I said, a lot of the ones that you probably haven't heard of before that are doing great work nonetheless, and that are that will be much more appreciative and much more able to make a solid impact with something as small as $100 or $200 donation. Guys like the Travis Mayen Foundation and Marsoc Foundation and Marine Reconnaissance Foundation, some of the smaller ones that are very targeted at specific audiences or specific segments of the military that are doing great work, both with service members, their families, and in the case like the Travis Mayen Foundation, the character building programs they do with high school kids and middle school kids, which I've been involved with a decent amount around here in San Diego. So yeah, check out our website. Contact information on there. A lot of our partnerships are on there. There's a tab if you're interested in a wholesale purchase. So if you want to have your name here or your logo here on one of these type things, we sell to 100 plus different wholesale accounts all around the United States. Some military, a lot of them that are just want.
You work with. I know you always say work with bars. You work at restaurants. Weddings.
Sold a bunch of breweries that breweries are selling. Yeah. Breweries that selling T-shirts and bottle openers, or selling bottle openers alongside their T-shirts and pint glasses and all that kind of stuff, to Cabela's, the Navy Exchange, the Marine Corps Exchange, selling directly to active duty units. So Marine Corps birthday balls, they want to have something better than just a pint glass to give out to everybody who attends a birthday ball. So we'll end up filling a lot of orders of 1,000 pieces for a battalion or squadron birthday ball, to corporate gifts. Corporate people that want something better, companies that want something better to give out as a thank you gift, or to give out to their employees, something better than just I don't know. What do corporate gifts give out? Like little
I don't know. I don't do corporate.
or tote bags that have their logo on them, or give out one of these that has your company's logo on it.
Yeah, that's pretty much, when you give that out, that's pretty much saying we're a badass company.
Right, and a lot of them, a lot of the companies that we sell to aren't military affiliated at all. They're not veteran owned. They don't have any military branding or anything like that. They just like, hey, we want something cool. And especially if they're kind of in a small town or they're not near a military base, where they get kind of the first mover advantage of having our stuff in stock. Nobody's seen it before. They're able to either sell a lot of it or just get a great response from giving it out to their best customers or their employees or whatever.
Cool. Well, thank you again, Erik, for spending some time with us today. And get Bullets to Bandages, guys online, Bullets to Bandages. Is that .org?
.org, yeah.
.org, okay. So, and you can find Erik on there, guys, and order some bullets and bandages. I appreciate it, Erik. Thanks for coming on today, and we look forward to helping you get some more sales out there, buddy.
All right, yeah. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.